Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage, and today is the day we're going to try and marry the old Flathead, hopped up Flathead straight 6 engine back into the Track T. So in the last video, basically we worked on is getting everything set up as a roller, and now that we have our major pieces in, we're going to move this over to the other bay in the shop where we have the chain fall, and we're going to set the engine trans in and try and figure out how we're going to mount everything, get it all lined up, and hopefully by the end of the video we will have the trans and engine mounts kind of tacked in place and the engine and trans hanging in the frame, and that'll be a huge step. So let's get started. Okay. See if we can get the thing to lift straight. Yeah. That's probably the hardest problem. Once you got some weight on it. Well, actually, I think this thing sits. Whoops. That had a seen better days.
Hey, that's my favorite hat.
That might be the most used IronTrap hat ever.
I got that when I first came here. That thing's like 2 years old.
2 years, I was like that.
Yeah. Well, I wear it to work every day, so yeah, it gets a little nasty.
You might want to get some OxyClean and soak that.
I throw it in the washing machine every now and then.
Oh, your wife lets you do that?
Yeah.
Kate does not allow the stuff that we gotta go much higher.
Much higher? Okay.
Or we gotta push it around. Can you just
What do you need?
well, can we clear it? Just,
Yeah.
That's what I wanted, just to
Yep.
help directing. And see, we probably did want the tail to be down
Yeah,
quite
a little bit more, yeah.
We were probably perfect on the first one.
Get up front.
Up a little. Yeah, that's our from where.
Can we go down a little bit more?
Yeah, we gotta go down more. I think this linkage was under the cow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I honestly think they had it sitting like that.
Oh, has he done something? It was really close when they had them two. You know, there's two
Studs.
spots on the frame rail there that were really close.
Yeah, because that doesn't look terribly far from lining up.
No.
Right there. Yeah, I mean, I have the torque tube actually up probably a little high.
It's got to come back more because the radiator sits in here.
Right.
So it's got to.
Yeah, because
it was real. When we mocked it up, it was real tight to the radiator.
Well, now the next problem is we're on.
Got to get the carburetor.
No,
With the cowl.
No.
Oh, we're gonna hitting that.
We're already
Okay.
hitting the chain.
Yep.
So I think you almost need to be lifting like
Probably.
right in the center almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember this being a pain to rig up last time. At least if you have the front half being supported.
Yep. Okay. Getting weight on it.
Now we're free. Now we can shove her back. That's about it there.
Okay.
Because that's the carb's just about hitting. falls out of the car. All right. Yeah, made the car lower in the front too.
And the front spring didn't totally flatten, which is good.
Yeah, might be able to use this. Yeah, I make a giant mess when I work. All right, so we got the motor mounts made yesterday and got the front of the engine sitting down on the mounts, and we just gave it a night to stand back and stare at everything. I talk about it in a lot of videos. You know, it's great to make progress, but sometimes if you move too quickly, you end up hating something and, you know, whatever. So we have it in. The engine is darn close to being level. We ended up sliding the engine back just a hair in the end, and you can see there is clearance. You can fit almost my finger between the bolt and the for the water pump pulley and the radiator, but it is really close. Before it was like you could barely fit a sheet of paper in there where we think that the engine should have been. So what that caused is we're gonna have to probably raise the body up just a hair. We're not sure, because Steve actually noticed yesterday that there's like a mark on this rear carburetor where the top of it, like it was hitting the body, and that's pretty much what's happening now. So it may be exactly where the engine was originally, we're not sure. But we're gonna probably have to raise the cowl up just a tiny bit, which they just have these little tabs here with bolts through it. So all we can do is just change this tab, make it a little longer, and move the cowl up just a tiny bit, you know, say a ½ inch or something. And that will probably give us the clearance we need, rather than trying to move the engine around a bunch, because it's pretty much, everything's jiving and lining up pretty good. I have a jack here, I'll show you guys. Let me just jack it up. So right now we have the spring is drooping a little bit. If we jack this up to make the torque tube pretty much level, everything looks like it'll line up good. He was running a V8 in the last iteration of this, which probably pushed the engine back a little more, and that's why this is too short. But I can make a torque tube and drive shaft that will work. We took this plate here, and Jacob and Carl were working on this, and they cut this out with a plasma cutter and just sanded it carefully to get it to the point where it fits in here. I'm kind of mimicking an F1 mount. So we have an F1 style mount here that was brand new that Mike brought from the warehouse. And now what we're going to do, now that this shape fits, we're going to take some bar stock I have here, and basically I'm going to just bend it, heat and bend it, or just bend it around and create a flange on the top and bottom. And then I'll weld this on for flanges top and bottom to give us strength. And then we're going to put a larger flange right where the mount needs to sit. Down in here, there's two bolts that go in. So right there we'll make a flange that sticks out further with a little kind of block on it, step if you will, that will fit up in the mount. And then that will get us right where we need it to be. We can weld it all in the frame. So here shortly after we get that trans mount in and tacked in, we can let the engine in transit with no jacks, chains, any assistance, which is going to be really awesome. I can already see it is looking super cool.
but down is good right there.
It's lined up with the line.
It's lined up with the line and it's good height-wise.
I can get.
Can you
Move
get
your
it
hand
there?
maybe back there, down further, like down here, so I don't burn you. If you're going,
If
pull
I
it.
can hold it like that.
Are you able to hold it like that?
Do like this.
I can tack down here too.
Like you just need to, like, let me see. Yeah, that's good.
You like that?
Yeah, thank you.
We're good?
Yeah.
Actually, we're gonna need to twist this around. Okay?
Oh, that's its feet.
All right, we're gonna take the last jack out and see if the engine falls out of the car. My tack's held. What a surprise. Yeah, it worked out good. Yeah. Still have to raise the body just a tiny bit. Get some clearance too. All right, so got the trans mount all tacked into the car. It was a lot of welding to make up that kind of simple looking cross member, but I like doing those like kind of F1 inspired cross members. I think they kind of look simple but strong, and it's kind of a little nod to a factory part. Now that everything's bolted in, the engine and trans are very much solid in the car, which is great. I don't know if this, I'm going to go ahead and say that this engine and trans has never been this secure in the vehicle probably ever in its life. So pretty cool to have that all in there. And again, it kind of hopefully looks kind of old school or factory, so to speak, but is also strong and a little bit better than it was originally. So now that we got the engine and trans in there, I have a couple of things to do. We got to work on the front wishbones, get the caster set, which we'll do in probably the next video, and probably start working on the steering or the pedals. I haven't decided which one yet, chicken or the egg, don't know. But we're going to keep moving forward and get the suspension and geometry set up, get the steering all set up, and of course the pedals and all that. And that will be the big hurdles, is getting the steering and the pedals figured out. But this is a big hurdle overcome, because now our favorite thing, we can stand back and look at it and say how cool it is each day when we come in to the shop to start working. So thank you guys for following along. Let me know what you think of the new engine and trans mounts in the little track T. Thanks guys. Catch you later.